Mexico begins like a warm breath of sunlight, a land where oceans glow in turquoise shades and mountains rise with ancient calm. Colors sweep across its horizons like living brushstrokes, shifting with the wind and the passing of day. Here, nature doesn't stand behind the story. It is the story, alive in every sound, every shadow, every breath. And from the very first moment, Mexico feels less like a place you visit and more like a world that welcomes you in. The Caribbean waters shimmer like crystal. The deserts stretch in golden silence, and the mountains stand like timeless guardians. Music, colors, and traditions flow through markets and streets, carrying the heartbeat of a culture shaped by centuries. Beauty rises everywhere, in the land, in the people, in the light that touches everything gently. And this is where our journey begins, in a Mexico both ancient and endlessly alive. Tulum rises where ancient stone meets the sea, standing quietly above cliffs shaped by centuries of wind. Morning light brushes the ruins, revealing textures carved gently by time. Below the cliffs, the Caribbean moves softly, its waves carrying echoes of stories that never truly faded. Here, history breathes through stone, through silence, through the rhythm of the coast. As the sun climbs higher, the coastline becomes a living mirror of shifting color. Palm trees sway along the white sand, framing the ruins like a natural gateway to the past. The water glitters with layers of blue, crystal, sapphire, emerald, changing with every passing cloud. And in this glow, Tulum feels less like a site of ruins and more like a memory suspended in light. Walk a little further along the cliffs, and the horizon opens into endless blue. The ocean breathes in slow, steady rhythms, quieting everything it touches. Birds drift above the waves, their shadows moving across the water like soft brush strokes. And every step you take feels like following footprints that time never erased. As evening settles over Tulum, the ruins darken into silhouettes of gold and shadow. The waves soften into whispers, moving gently beneath the fading sky. Light folds slowly behind the sea, turning the coastline into a quiet dream. And in that moment, Tulum is not just a place you see, but a place that stays with you. Chichén Itzá rises from the jungle, a stone city shaped by the brilliance of an ancient world. El Castillo stands at its heart, its steps aligned with the sun, the stars, and the rhythm of time. Every stone carries the weight of centuries, echoing voices that once gathered in this sacred place. And as you approach, you feel the quiet power of a civilization that understood the sky. Morning light falls across the pyramid, casting long shadows that move like living history. The jungle breathes around the ruins, rustling leaves, distant bird calls, soft wind weaving through stone. Patterns carved into the walls tell stories of gods, seasons, and the dance of the cosmos. Here, time does not pass, it circles. Walk toward the Temple of the Warriors, and rows of carved columns rise like guardians frozen in stone. Their faces are worn by centuries, yet still watching, still waiting, still remembering. The great plaza opens around you, wide, silent, filled with the weight of footsteps long vanished. And in that silence, you can almost hear the heartbeat of the Maya. As the sun sets over Chichén Itzá, the pyramid glows in warm gold, then soft crimson, then deep shadow. The sky dims into stillness, stars gathering above just as they did 1,000 years ago. Stone meets night, and the city becomes a constellation of its own. And in that fading light, you realize this place is not just ancient, it is eternal. Bacalar opens in 7 shades of blue, each one shifting with the sun like a living watercolor. From above, the lagoon stretches endlessly, clear, calm, impossibly bright. Sandbanks glow beneath the surface, painting white patterns on the turquoise water. And as the light moves, Bacalar becomes a world made entirely of color. And as the light moves, Bacalar becomes a world made entirely of color. Kayaks drift slowly across the surface, their shadows gliding over the shallow sand. The water is so clear, you can see every ripple, every grain of light beneath you. Here, even the stillness feels alive. When the sun rises over Bacalar, the lagoon glows in soft gold and crystal blue. Clouds reflect on the water, stretching across the surface like moving paintings. The world becomes quiet, held gently between wind and light. And in that morning calm, Bacalar feels like a dream you can step into. For the people who have lived here for generations, The lagoon is more than water. It is memory. Fishermen still set out at dawn, their small wooden boats carrying traditions passed from father to son. And in every quiet ripple, you feel a culture shaped by water, light, and the gentle rhythm of life beside this lagoon. High above the valley of Oaxaca, the great plaza of Monte Alban stretches across the mountaintop like a stone horizon. Here, the Zapotec built their world in the sky, aligning temples and platforms with the sun and the breath of the mountains. Every step across this vast open plaza echoes with the weight of ceremonies once held beneath these same clouds. And as the wind moves through the ancient stones, you feel the presence of a civilization that shaped the land with purpose and quiet strength. From the center of the plaza, the pyramids rise on every side, carved from limestone and memory. Shadows fall along the steps, marking the passage of the day, just as they did 1,000 years ago. The air carries a soft stillness, broken only by the distant calls of birds circling above the valley. In this silence, the stones seem to speak, not loudly, but with the calm certainty of time. As you stand at the edge of the great plaza, the entire valley opens beneath you, wrapped in golden light. Villages scatter like small stories across the land, each one carrying traditions rooted in Zapotec history. The mountains rise around the site, holding the ancient city in a protective embrace. And in that sweeping view, you understand why Monte Alban was not only a city, but a sacred world lifted toward the sky. High in the mountains of Oaxaca, Hierve el Agua appears like a place shaped by sky and stone. Mineral springs flow slowly over the cliffs, leaving behind frozen waterfalls carved drop by drop over thousands of years. The white rock glows against the blue valley below, a contrast so surreal it feels almost otherworldly. And as you walk closer, the landscape opens like a quiet miracle crafted by time. At the edge of the cliff pools, the water gathers in shallow terraces, shimmering turquoise under the sun. The mountains stretch endlessly around you, their shadows drifting across the valley like slow-moving clouds. Each step reveals a new reflection, sky, stone, and water merging into a single stillness. Here, you feel suspended between earth and air. For the Zapotec communities who live in these mountains, Hierve el Agua has always been more than a landscape. The springs were once part of rituals honoring water and life. A reminder that every drop is connected to the land that sustains them. Even today, families from nearby villages visit these cliffs, carrying with them the quiet traditions of their ancestors. And in this gentle connection, you sense a culture woven into the stone just as deeply as the minerals themselves. At the edge of the valley, the Pyramid of the Sun rises like a silent monument to the ancient world. Stone upon stone, the structure climbs toward the sky, carrying the memory of a civilization that measured time in shadows and stars. Standing before it, you feel the weight of centuries pressing gently against the wind. Walk along the Avenue of the Dead, and the city opens like a stone blueprint of forgotten dreams. The Pyramid of the Moon stands ahead, framed by distant mountains that once guided sacred rituals. In the stillness, you hear the faint echo of footsteps long vanished into dust. In the heart of Mexico City, the Centro Histórico beats with centuries of architecture layered in golden shadow. Cathedrals rise beside ancient ruins, the past and present woven together in every stone. And through the streets, the rhythm of the city moves like a living pulse. The Zócalo stretches wide beneath the sky, a gathering place held by history and the echo of millions who crossed it. The Metropolitan Cathedral towers above, its bells carrying a deep, solemn beauty across the square. Here, every step feels connected to the great timeline of Mexico. Beyond the city's noise, Xochimilco drifts into view with boats painted in the brightest colors of Mexico. Waterways wind through ancient chinampas, gardens cultivated long before the city grew around them. The gentle movement of the boats feels like slipping into a story that still breathes. Along the streets of Mexico City, traditions unfold in colors, symbols, and rituals passed through generations. Dancers move in feathered headdresses, their steps echoing ancient rhythms once performed in sacred temples. Bright papel picado sways above the crowds, cut by hand, floating like fragments of stories carried by the wind. And during Dia de los Muertos, flowers, candles, and painted faces transform the city into a living tribute to memory. In these celebrations, you feel the heartbeat of Mexico, a culture that honors life by embracing every shade of it. Deep in the rainforest of Chiapas, Palenque rises from the green like a forgotten whisper of the Maya. Stone temples emerge between vines and mist, their edges softened by centuries of rain and silence. The air carries the sound of birds and distant waterfalls, as if the jungle itself is guarding the memories of this ancient city. Walking through its corridor, you feel the presence of a civilization that read the stars with absolute devotion. Carvings tell stories of kings, rituals, and cosmic order, etched into stone with remarkable precision. In this sacred stillness, the spirit of the Maya lingers like a quiet breath woven into the forest. Further into Chiapas, agua azul cascades in ribbons of turquoise over limestone terraces. Layer after layer of flowing blue turns the river into a moving tapestry of color and light. Stand close enough, and you feel the mist settle softly on your skin like a cooling veil. The water rushes with gentle power, carving its path through the jungle with endless patience. Pools gather beneath each fall, clear, calm, shimmering like glass touched by sunlight. In this harmony of movement and stillness, Chiapas feels alive in every direction. High in the mountains, San Cristobal glows with pastel streets, red roofs, and soft mountain air. Markets overflow with woven textiles, wooden masks, and colors of the tzotzil and Seltal people, each piece carrying generations of tradition. Every corner feels handcrafted, held together by culture, memory, and gentle mountain light. In the churches and the plazas, candles burn beside offerings made with deep devotion. Local families gather in quiet rituals, honoring life with flowers, incense, and whispered prayers. And when the sun sets over the mountains, San Cristobal becomes a tapestry of culture woven into the twilight. As the journey through Mexico comes to a close, the landscapes linger like quiet impressions on the heart. From ancient stones to turquoise waters, every place touched a different part of the soul. And in the silence after the last sunset, Mexico still feels alive, breathing gently in memory. This is a country shaped by time and human hands, its cities carrying history, and its people carrying tradition with quiet pride. You see it in the way colors are worn, in the way music rises, and in the way stories continue across generations. Mexico is not simply visited, it is felt. And though every road eventually ends, the feeling of Mexico follows long after the journey stops. In the echo of distant ruins, in the rhythm of water and wind, in the warmth of those who keep old traditions alive. Some places stay with you because they change the way you see the world. Mexico is one of those places, a land that remains in color, in memory, and in the quiet spaces between breath and wonder. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the film, a like, share, or subscribe would mean a lot. Subscribing is free, but for us, it's a big motivation. See you in the next journey.